Hey everyone, it's Ryzen.
And Liz.
And welcome to the preview for the home opener, playing the Ravens, who got pretty much embarrassed last week. Holy cow.
What a game.
The Ravens basically Atlanta Falcon did. There's no other way to put it. You blow a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter, it's monumentally embarrassing.
Yeah, it really is.
It's embarrassing.
That means they're probably going to be really exhausted too.
Yeah, they're... I don't know. I mean, we'll see how the Ravens respond to that. Maybe they are pissed off and they take it out on us, or maybe they just is in their head, like the Atlanta Falcons. When they had their big collapse, they've basically never been
the same,
remotely close to what they were that one year. So, you know, I mean, look what happened to Jacksonville when they blew that lead.
True.
In the AFC Championship game.
True, they were pretty good that year.
Sometimes it takes a long time, and sometimes you recover immediately. It depends. The Ravens are talented, but it depends on what their coaches are able to do. It's really bad. You don't want to be in that situation.
Nah, that's a bad loss.
It's bad. Their secondary has been a problem for them for a long time. Really, their depth is a problem. Injuries, too. Injury report, Patriots got a ton of freaking guys, of course. We got Joshua Bledsoe with his groin, depth guy anyway, Cody Davis, calf, Kyle Duggar with his knee. Did he play last week?
I think he did for most of the game, I think.
Devon Gadshaw, he was back last week, of course he did. Raekwon McMillan was added on Friday with a thumb injury, of all things. Depth guy, though. Myers is on there with a knee, that sucks.
When did that happen?
I don't know. Jalen Mills is on there with his freaking hamstring, which is pretty much the worst injury you can have as a freaking corner. And Phillips is still on there with his ribs, but I'm guessing Phillips will play. Played last week. They took off DeMarcus Mitchell. He was on there. They removed him. Not that matters much. Ronnie Stanley was rolled out. He's listed as doubtful here, but they just ruled him out today.
The left tackle. So that should help with the Patriots be able to get, like, what, pass pressure?
Pass pressure, yeah, that should help. The Ravens don't run the ball well. They run the ball well with Jackson. They don't run the ball well with their running backs. It is a massive problem for Baltimore.
Huh. That's weird.
It makes their run game very one-dimensional.
So pretty much they have to just contain him.
Yeah.
And force him to, do short passes?
We're going to want to force him to be efficient. Got Marlon Humphrey is on there with a groin.
He's a good corner.
Yeah. Well, their corners are all hurt. You got J.K. Dobbins, running back with his knee. Although he was a full participant, so he'd probably be all right. Isaiah Likely, I love his name. With the groin. Marcus Peter had a rest day. And
he's a veteran, so.
His knee. So we had a veterans rest day, too. James Proch with a groin. Brandon Stevens with his quad, Marion Williams with an ankle. See, Lamar was on there.
Oh.
Yeah, they just removed him today. I knew he got hurt in that game.
Yesterday.
They removed him yesterday.
Interesting, okay.
So that's good. They took off Lamar, Travis Jones, and Devin Duvernay. Must have passed concussion protocol because he was at a concussion. Anyway, keys to the game. Patriots need to force Lamar to throw from the pocket. In the short passing, you take away the deep options. Lamar did torch the blitz last week, which is unusual for Lamar. He's usually struggled against blitz packages, but
Miami blitzed him a lot. It didn't work at all.
He was very good in that game, but lost anyway. So
right, Miami blitzed him a ton, and it did not work at all. Yeah,
which is unusual because it normally creams Lamar. He's normally horrible.
It creamed us.
But he might have adjusted finally, which is a good sign for Baltimore.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, obviously contain his running. You know, probably put a spy on him. Might be Mac Wilson, actually. Don't let him outside the pocket. Take away his deep options and make him beat you, you know, nickel and dime at a time. That's the best bet.
Yeah.
Make him lose his patience, get some turnovers.
So that's on defense.
Yeah. Offensively, the Patriots basically have to do that on offense.
Right.
They have to be efficient, short passing game. And that's what they're going to want to use here. You know, the short to intermediate passes, move the chains. Should be a big Myers game if he plays.
Yeah, right. Because he basically plays their slot guy.
Yeah,
He basically is the slot guy.
You know, if maybe Humphrey.
He was wide open for a touchdown last week.
Know, just short passes. Aguilar, you know, speed, short passes. Use him like a Tyreek Hill kind of guy. You know, slants and stuff.
Right.
But that's really going to be the key. And also run the ball effectively. The Ravens, they're weird. They rank like 5th against the run. It's incredibly misleading. They give up 5 yards a carry.
So then in theory...
It's because they've been so far ahead.
I see.
Nobody's thrown against them.
So I mean, in theory,
in
theory, the run should work well.
In theory, they should be able to run over Baltimore. In theory.
I mean, they torched the Steelers in the 4th quarter last week, so...
Yes, they ran very well. Look, I'll be honest, I don't like their stretch run system. That running out of shotgun is just... whatever.
Yeah, we don't like that play, and we hate that toss play they do.
They do that all the time, but they've always done that. But that stretch run out of shotgun is new. That's a Patricia thing. I hate it. You're having to run an extra 5 yards to the outside. It's such a stupid scheme.
Yeah, it's not great.
Whatever. I mean, if they make it work, fine. But it's got to actually work. So that's the keys to the game. Probably lose this game, guys. We're outmatched in virtually every category, except for maybe our actual running backs are better than their running backs. Other than that, they're...
and you could say maybe their secondary is a little weak.
Our secondary is better than their secondary.
But theirs is also more banged up.
But their secondary is not that...
It's old.
They have no depth.
It's old,
That's
too.
their problem.
What, do they have rookies playing at corner?
Yeah, they basically have no names playing at corner now. You know, that's what they have every year in safety. They have injuries kill them every single year
in the secondary.
So our secondary is better than theirs, but every other position on defense, they're probably better than us.
So it probably will be an L.
Probably, but they can win. But they have to play much better on offense. I think the defense will be fine.
Yeah, the defense seems to be okay.
But offensively, they've got to be efficient. They've got to move the chains. And they got to score in the red zone.
Right.
You know, you got to finish drives. And Mac's got to make better decision-making because his decision-making has not been good. And they got to get the plays in quicker so he can audible.
And despite all of that...
Our line is good, too.
They're better. I think they got a lot of slack the first 2 weeks, but last game they were pretty solid.
The line was really good last
Despite all
the
penalties, they were pretty solid
Clean up
last week.
those penalties and they'll be A+, but they had a B+ game. Except for Cole Strange, he had like an A+ game.
Yeah.
Perfect.
People are saying that if he really is that as good as he was in this game, that we knocked it out of the park with the draft.
Yes,
but time will tell.
First game, he was bad. So, you know, there were a couple games when Isaiah Wynn looked fantastic, and then 90% of the time he was garbage.
Yeah.
Or mediocre. He's not a horrible player, but he's mediocre.
Average.
And that's not good for a first-round pick. We want, you know, game 2 Cole Strange to be normal for him.
It's ironic. They're playing the Ravens tomorrow, and I was laying down earlier, and I was watching Vince Wilfork's Patriots Hall of Fame induction ceremony they held this afternoon earlier today, and the only reason they got Wilfork was because they traded for a first-round pick with the Ravens.
I know. It was
and
a
they picked
really
him,
good pick.
and then they picked him 21st pick in the draft.
And he was a good first-round pick.
Oh,
Until
yeah.
he blew his foot out. Then he was above average.
Yeah. You know, those injuries are just
It's
kill
hard
you.
when you're 280 pounds or whatever.
Probably
Big
more than
guy.
that. Yeah.
He's a huge guy. So, you know, it's hard to come back from that. He still was pretty solid, but, you know, I don't know. So they can win, but they got to really play well. So, we'll see. Oh, and you need good special team play, too. Because their coverage wasn't exactly that good last week, other than the one punt recovery, but that was more on a lucky muff.
Right.
Particularly, please don't field a ball when they're punting, and Brian, don't field it at the 2 running backwards.
Please don't turn into Cyrus
Please
Jones.
don't do that.
Cyrus Jones was the Patriots' like nightmare on special teams. Please don't turn into him.
I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was thinking. Whatever. Everybody's entitled to a boneheaded thing, but he got really lucky last week.
Oh yeah, really lucky.
Really lucky, because that could have very easily been either a touchdown against us or a safety if he had possessed that.
And if that happened, we would have lost.
We would have lost the game.
Yeah.
So he's a smart player. So I think it's just a fluky thing with the way the ball was kicked. But
yeah.
It's got to be better than that. That's really the big thing they got to clean up on special teams, and we need better play out of Nick Folk. He missed a big kick last week.
It was a hard one too.
It was a hard one, but you got to make that.
Does Baltimore still have that good kicker?
Tucker, yeah. Of course they do.
So they can kick from 65 yards and he'll make it.
I mean, yeah.
He could probably kick from the other end zone and he'd make it.
Okay,
He's so
he can't
good.
make it that far, but
He's that
he
good.
can make 60 yards probably. He can make like 55 consistently.
Yeah, he's crazy good.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll be back for the recap. Next week, there's not going to be anything. We can't cover the game because we're not here. So we're on vacation. All right, bye.